Howdy, and welcome to JoJo's Daily Dose, episode 19. I'm still dealing with a little husky after having a bit of a clear out last week. I got a bit of a cold. And I definitely think I was making space because I'm doing a current program and we're bringing up all of our subconscious programming and deepest, darkest patterns. And then as we were clearing through that, of course, suddenly my body wanted to release as well. So there's always a different thing going on than just, what you might expect. But today, I wanted to talk about intuition, because I feel like there's a lot of misunderstanding sometimes about our intuition, about how it works, where it comes from. A lot of people think it's the third eye, right? That's where you get your intuition. And actually, it's really a lot to do with our heart. The heart is really the seed of our greatest intuition, but it's also working with the third eye. It's also working with our gut. Like, we've got all these systems. It's not coming from one particular place. And equally, your intuition isn't going to necessarily talk to you in one particular way. It is a multi-dimensional, multifaceted system that is unique to you, that you're working with. And so as we move through life, you're going to understand more about how this intuition works with you, how it operates for you specifically. And we do that by literally just starting to notice how the divine intelligence is talking to us through the quantum field, through our live stream of our reality. And we use our third eye to make sense of that in a way. But, we are feeling our way through. The more you are feeling and the less you're thinking, the more you're going to be tapping into your intuition. And also, when you start to understand the metaphorical nature of things, that also helps you to tap into deeper layers of your intuition. But everyone's usually got a lead sense. If you go back to the original clairvoyant, clear senses. So we've got clairvoyancy, which is the seeing, the clairaudience, which is hearing things in another way. You've got the clairsentience, which is the feeling. You've got claircognizance, which is the knowing, right? And that is literally when you're operating in an energetic level, basically. And usually you'll have one or two of those senses that are dominant for you, and then other ones that are in the background, right? So I like him quite clairaudient dominant. So I hear spirit speaking in my ears sometimes. Not all the time. It's not like I can turn it on or off, really. I do when I'm channeling. That is, I'm turning it on, but also I have a different clairaudience experience that happens. I can't remember what one is for clear smell, but that's a huge one for me as well. I smelt that cigar smoke of my dad after he passed away in a enclosed space where there was nothing coming from the outside. And so I've always had a pretty significant relationship with smell. But, you may have visions of things, which is more clairvoyant, flashes of an image or a memory or a piece of information that's for you. And equally, clear knowing is just when you absolutely know and you don't know how you know. I mean, there's all different ways that this works together in our guidance system. But the key is starting to trust in that system, knowing that when you're out of balance, when you're in absolute turmoil, that's not going to work that well. That is not the time to be trying to go in, because you're in an unbalanced state. So you need to wait and reset, wait for a time when you are feeling more aligned in yourself for you to then start to go into your guidance system and work. It's really, really, really very difficult to get clear, trusting and reliable information when you're in times of imbalance, turmoil, trouble, heightened overwhelm, emotion, all of that stuff, right? And that's when people feel like they can't trust their intuition, because in that moment where they're really wanting it or forcing it, it's not happening, or they're getting mixed answers or something that maybe they perceived wasn't the best. And so also it's worth noting that when you are running imbalanced patterns within yourself, when you're running imbalanced subconscious patterns, when you have got different programs running that aren't actually in alignment with your true divine nature, that can also mess with your intuition. It can. I've seen this before in my client work, and people sort of think it's their intuition, but it's not. So you've got to get really, really sharp at what it is, how it works, what it means, because people say they can't trust it because it's literally maybe it's gone against them, or something's happened when they followed their intuition, it hasn't worked out or whatever. But equally, that divine intelligent force that's running through everything is always guiding us in the way that, and pushing us forward in the way that we need to, even when things don't work out for us, okay? So just a little bit more understanding about your intuition and how it works, and also when it's not your intuition or the false idea we have about it, that can be at play when we are in an imbalanced state, or when we're running old existing programs that are sort of working against us, or providing what I call the false intuition, right? So things to be aware of, and also why it's super important to get really clear on how yours works, and how you can rely on it, so that you're using your guidance system as was gifted to you and you brought through for a specific reason on this planet, right? So JoJo's Daily Dose, episode 19, all about intuition. So I hope there's some nuggets in there for you to utilize, and have a beautiful day, and I'll see you here mañana. Mwah.